Hi, my name is Izzy Scalabrino, and I'm currently applying for a spot in the Student Influencers program. So a little bit about me is I'm a sophomore at Killer High School, and I'm also part of the girls' varsity golf team, and I've been that way since freshman year. I also hope to continue playing golf throughout college. I currently have 2 jobs. I work at Chick-fil-A, and I've worked there since August of 2023, and I actually just got hired at Rush Bowls, and I'm going to start next week. I also love baking, and I really enjoy learning new things. My goal for the future is to become my own boss and work towards owning my own company. I've always been very confident, and while I do tend to work well in groups, I always find myself in the center of things, whether it's telling who to do what or giving advice to others. I could never imagine myself not helping anyone. I'm also incredibly determined to do whatever I set my mind to. For example, I have a puppy named Louie. He's a little small Boston Terrier, and he's about 2 years old now. Recently, I've made a bet with one of my friends saying that I can teach my dog how to skateboard. And I know that sounds crazy, but that craziness is exactly what's driving me to actually make it a reality. I'm incredibly motivated by the impossible, and I achieve everything I set my mind to. For my dream job, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do when I'm older, but I kind of really like the idea of being a lawyer because I've always really wanted to help others. Unfortunately, I've learned the hard way that the people that are supposed to look out for you and be there for you don't always have your best interests at heart. But that's why I want to be a lawyer, because there's not enough people out there that really care, and I know I can make a difference. I want to be able to be there for people during their worst moments and hopefully give them the chance to make something of their future. My generation is incredibly reliant on the internet and social media, and why that does give us a bad reputation sometimes, I don't think everyone completely understands how good we are at stuff online. Like, you could name a person, and within seconds, we'd have all their information. And yeah, that's scary, but think about how good that is. Like, what if we had to track someone down who was hurting others? Or what if we had to find someone who was about to hurt themselves? We'd be amazing at that. One of the really bad things of our generation, though, is one mistake, and it's going to stay with you forever. I don't agree with that, because we're kids, and we're human, and as humans, we make mistakes, and we learn from them. And in a society where everything is broadcasted all over social media, we feel the need to find perfection when perfection doesn't exist. How are we supposed to learn and grow if we are not allowed to make mistakes? My personal mantra or motto is that actions speak louder than words. And while this does seem a little basic or like a classic, it's true. Actions mean more than words ever could. So I could sit here and tell you about all the things that I'm going to do and how amazing I'll be, but instead I'm going to tell you about one of my proudest moments. So I'm young for my age. I'm currently 15 as a sophomore, and my birthday's in September. But last year, it was freshman year, I'd gotten into an argument with my dad about a job. And it wasn't necessarily about me getting a job, but it was more as a joke. Like, I had brought it up, and he said I was too young and too immature and no one would ever hire me. That same young and immature girl went out and created a resume all on her own. She applied it to multiple different websites and companies. And yeah, I did get rejected a lot of times because I was too young, but that didn't stop me and that didn't discourage me. I kept applying to places, keeping my hopes up, until one day I got an email from this one guy named Chuck who wanted me to come in for an interview at this place named Pokeworks. This was my first ever interview, and I was super nervous, but all by myself. I got myself ready. I printed out a copy of my resume and I brought it in. I couldn't drive myself at the time, but my grandparents were watching us, and I told them that I was going to go meet up with my friends at one of this restaurant and I needed them to drive me there. Well, they took me there, and I went inside and I shook the guy's hand, and we went over everything, we discussed everything, I asked questions, and I ended up getting hired on the spot. That night, I went home and I told everyone what had happened, and they were all so proud of me. But no one was nearly as proud of me as I was of myself. I had gotten a job all on my own as a 14-year-old. And that's why the saying, actions speak louder than words, really means something to me. Anyone can say that they're going to do anything, but it really comes down to if they're actually going to do it. So that's basically it. Thank you so much for your time, and I'd just like to thank Mr. K and anyone else for giving me this opportunity to apply for this amazing platform of individuals. I can't make any promises to what I'll achieve, but I do know I'll make a great addition to your team if you'd let me. Thank you so much for your time, and have an amazing rest of your day.